The truth, the girls.
Hey everyone, this video is like, I'm talking to you guys, my subscribers in particular, especially the ones I think who watch my ASD and my travel videos. As I know some of you watch my travel videos, somebody in particular said, I enjoy living vicariously through you, like you look so happy and free. And you know, on vacation I was. And I hope that those videos encourage you in some way. But I don't want you to think that, you know, my life is like that all the time. Like everything's just perfect. I'm always happy. And I certainly don't want you to think that and then look at yourself and say, oh, look at me, you know, my life sucks or I'm a mess or whatever. I want you to know that. So I talk sometimes about things related to like ASD and myself and my son. I don't really show you what we deal with because I feel like, well, I don't really want to put that on video, you know? But I talk about it a bit. And people are like, no, you look fine. Your son looks fine. What are you talking about? But it's just because I don't show you all of it. I don't talk about all of it. But it's there, and the struggle is real. That's the expression that comes to mind. The struggle is real. And let's just put it this way. Like my whole life, it's been a really big struggle. Because of this, and also now because of the stuff with my son, it makes things a lot harder. And sometimes I think, why am I not like on a ton of meds, or why have I not been in the hospital? You know, like how have I avoided having a total nervous breakdown or like a crushed spirit? And it saddens me to think that there are some people out there who are watching my videos and interacting with me, and that they are suffering, that they feel either crushed in their spirit, or their, you know, their health issues, mental health issues, don't censor me YouTube, have gotten so hard, like such a toll on them, that they feel like I can never beat this. I cannot live with this. I can't cope with it. You know, that's a very sad, dark place to be. But I understand, you know, because I'm sort of like this. Like, I'm not bipolar, but I'm sort of, I go in and out of like being sort of shut down, like in my ability to deal with things and to talk and, you know, to do stuff. So you know, I film obviously when I'm in a good state of mind. A big part of this has to do with stress. Like I had a weird experience when I went on vacation. Like a lot of my like ASD related symptoms and behaviors, they decreased a lot. And I realized that it was because of the stress. There was no stress. I realized that people with ASDs, like in myself, it's like a lot of it is sensory processing disorder. I've explained that before. Everybody's different. You know, you can say like, you can't say, well, all people with Aspergers are this way or that way. Like, believe me, like everyone is different. But I've realized that I think I could generalize and say that we're all particularly susceptible to stress. As in, our minds will just shut right down. Like we'll have shutdowns or meltdowns. Like our response will be a lot different than say like neurotypical people. Because like sometimes I think maybe everybody's like this. Maybe everybody deals with this. I go to church and I'm like, you know, maybe there's nothing wrong with me. Everybody's like this. They're just better at hiding it. My husband says, no, that's not true. Just like, you know, I tend to need to like crouch in a ball on the ground against a wall. And I was like, how come everybody else doesn't do this? Maybe they just have better manners than me. How do they cope with why are they always standing? Like, how do they cope with standing up for, how come I don't see other people crouching? And my husband said, it's not because they don't have better manners, it's just because they don't feel the need to do that. But sometimes I look at other people and I think, or I listen to people who say, oh, you know, everybody's got their issues and you're not that different. But then I see some of the behavior that will come out of me when triggered or like under stress, that behavior is very different. And it's nothing I can control. I mean, the best I can do is just to get out so that nobody will see it. No, I don't want you to think that I'm like a psycho or anything, but like I'm super sensitive sensory wise, and it totally dysregulates me, and I can't even talk right. I can't control myself. I'm like I totally like flip out. It looks really bad. It's not like the me you see right now. And I don't see other people doing that. It's because the feeling is so overpowering. The same as like when you're in a place where there's a lot of people, there's a lot of stuff going on around you. Somebody said ASD, it's like standing in the middle of traffic on rush hour in China or something. It makes it like it's torture. Like you just can't control your behavior because you're suffering so much. That's what I experience. There was this torture device in the Middle Ages called the whirligig, where they would put someone inside a thing and it would spin. And eventually they'd totally lose it and they start throwing up and they just freak out. I feel like I'm in the whirligig a lot. I do. My brain just doesn't process. Like, not the way other people do. I'm in the whirligig. And I've been... Sorry, I'm like all emotional. My whole life I've been trying to act like everybody else. Because my behavior makes other people uncomfortable. I know that. I've been trying. I try. I know I look normal and people are like, well, you look normal. Why are you acting like a weirdo? Because I'm in the whirligig. Anyway, that's one part of it. And two, that stress is a big factor also. The stress being sensory and otherwise stress that would stress anyone out. And the other thing being a lot of shifting. My brain doesn't shift. My brain is so focused that if somebody talks to me, I can't even respond. I can't process what they're saying when I'm that focused. Or if I do respond, it sounds very abrupt. I get accused of being rude, of being like very curt. You know me, I'm a nice person. I mean, you know a lot about me. I'm not a person who likes to be mean. I deal with all this kind of stuff. Plus, I mean, the whole acting normal, but I mean, most of the time I am, okay, I'm like normal, but there are definitely things that bring it out, that they don't do that for other people. And that's the part that's hard to cope with. And I really, if I have tears in my eyes, because all my life I feel like people think I'm crazy. I'm not crazy. Like my actual logic and my thinking is very, I think, normal, very like emotionally healthy, but because I'm in the whirligig, I can't always control my behavior. I'm not crying like to make you feel sorry for me or whatever. It's nothing about you. It's just for some reason I guess it's just because it's like I said, the struggle is real, people. You can do whatever works for you with that information. I live like dreading for people to see my autistic side. Like the only people who can see that is my autistic friends and my family, like my close family, and like maybe one of my friends. Not because I'm like ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed of it. I mean, it's just the way I am, but because I just know that people just see that and they think you're crazy. And I know it looks crazy. Like I do a lot of that, like that ticking and stimming. Like you don't think so. I do. And I've seen people doing that in public. Like I get the whole like, that you just, and it looks crazy when they do it. And I'm like, God, I don't want to look like that, I used to when I was younger, and like it just caused me a lot of trouble, so I really go out of my way. Although it only comes out like under the stress, the whirligig, like I said. Just to say, I've been dealing with this my whole life. And why am I not on a bunch of meds? This is what I was going to say. Why am I not on a bunch of drugs? Why am I not like in a hospital? Why am I coping? Why am I on vacation having a good time? I think because there's a part of me that decided a long time ago that no one can help me. Not as in like I can't find a good therapist or nobody can give me advice. No one is gonna solve my problem for me. I have to fight. I cannot let myself fall apart. I cannot let my life fall apart. And I have been working very hard for a very long time to understand my condition so that I can stay one step ahead of it all the time. That's all I can do. And I've gotten pretty good at that, and I think that has a lot to do with why I'm so functional most of the time. I have done a lot to understand what my triggers are and how to cope with them, and I came to realize that, you know, it's a bit like I've heard said, twice as much time, half as much done. I mean, unless I'm cleaning. Like if I'm cleaning, I'm like a turbo cleaning machine. I can clean for like 6 hours in a row, or I can do one thing for a very long time. But the whole like shifting things, because my brain doesn't want to shift, it's really hard for me to go from one task to the other. It's like, and another thing, anxiety. They say people with ASDs have lower levels of GABA in their brain. So it's like we don't have good equipment to deal with stress. So people who don't deal with this, when they're like, just breathe, it's like, yeah, I can breathe. I have breathing exercises like stretching those muscles so that you get more air, and I know all that. The thing is that you can breathe and it'll come right back. It's like it's constant. Well, for you that doesn't happen. It's like ADHD, okay? Like people who don't have it, they'll be like, you just need to learn how to focus. You need to write yourself a list. I know what ADHD is like. I don't have it, but I know what it's like because I took ADHD medication and it like made me feel like I had ADHD. Like all the tabs open, whatever you're doing, it's not, you need to be doing something else. Like it was horrible. So it made me realize, like I took it as a trial to see if I had ADHD, which I don't. It made me realize like that's what people with ADHD live with all the time. So who are we to say, oh, you just need to write yourself a list? I mean, the struggle is real. You know, someone who doesn't deal with these things, or depression, another one, example, they don't know what it's like. So struggle's real enough. However, I have my very real struggle, but I also feel like there is no drug, there's no medication that's gonna fix this. And if I take one, there's gonna be a side effect. It's not a price worth paying. There's only me who can deal with this. Like I can get help for wherever I want, but it's down to me. And this is gonna be with me forever, I think. I'm never going to be normal. But I'm not going to give up. Because when you give up, when you're like, that's it, I'm screwed, I'm just going to give up. You are screwed. I mean, that's not going to work. You have to break the cycle, like I've said before. Although, like if you're so depressed and fatigued that you're just lying in bed all day, there's going to be like one thing that you can do that's going to be working towards breaking the cycle. You're going to do it. Go inside you and find that little bit of strength that says, damn it, I'm not going to let this do me in. I'm going to fight. You go in there and find that little bit that says, I want to live. I will not give up. You go and find that and you feed it. If you have to get out of bed and you're going to tell yourself, today's going to be a great day, even though you don't believe it, you're going to say that. Today's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great day. You just keep saying that. And if you need to take, I don't know, like my vitamin B here, the active vitamin B, B12, because I have MTRR defect, a methylation defect, you're gonna do that. Like if you find one thing that's gonna work, I don't care if it's like you're gonna watch a lot of Saturday Night Live, you're gonna make yourself laugh. You got to break the cycle. And when you have those downs, don't be like, oh, I'm screwed, I'm a useless human being because I can't function. It's like, okay, I'm having a shutdown. It's going to go a couple days. I just need to really take it easy. It's like, that's it. I can't do as much, because if you push yourself to function like everybody else when you're in a shutdown, you're just going to end up in a burnout. I learned that the hard way. But it's not the same thing. Taking it easy and knowing your limits is not the same thing as giving up. Giving up is push, 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 and then like, oh my God, I'm sick and I'm screwed and I can't do this. You got to go in there and find that strength in you that's going to say, I will not give up. That's what I've done. That's what I've been doing. Because if I give up, nobody's going to fight for me. It's just me who can do it. Nobody's going to take care of me. Me is going to take care of me. I am going to take care of me. You got to find that inside you. Whatever your problem is, you got to find that inside you. Otherwise, it will get on top of you. So I just want to encourage you. And like those vacation videos that I do and those funny videos that I do, that is me keeping myself sane. And I share it with you, and I hope it helps you, you know, get a laugh or something. I do that to keep myself sane. That's my stress relief. Humor, exercise, relaxation, they're important. Taking it easy on yourself and saying, it's okay that I didn't get this or that done. Because I'm doing what I can. I'm not giving up. Those things are important. Because nobody else is going to do it for you. And now I have to go pick up my son from school because school sent him back again. So I work, and I do all this other stuff, and my son's constantly getting sent back from school, so it's a lot of stress. And I guess I can't go to the gym today either. But I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to be like, okay, that's it, I'm screwed. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to find a way. Because the exercise is really important, and when I don't do it, it's like, it takes a toll on me, you know. I want to be a good mom, and I don't want to be stressed out. But I'll find something to do. Anyway, I wanted to make this video just to tell you, like I said, the struggle is real. It's real for me also. I don't want you to think, oh, look at her life is perfect. It's not. It doesn't have to be. But I just want to tell you, like, you know, whatever it is, it doesn't have to be perfect, but don't give up, you know. Find that little bit of enjoyment. Find that little thing that'll break the cycle, whatever it is. Just don't let that cycle go. Break it. When any chance you get, break it. A little bit, just keep breaking it. You know, prayer too. So don't give up. That's what I want to say to you. And that's it. Thanks for listening to me, and I'll see you next time.